Greetings, citizens of the internet, you can call me Nitro Indigo, and welcome back to my extremely riveting Let's Play Pokémon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. In the last episode, I tried to go through Fiery Field several times, but I gave up and ended up going to Waterfall Cave instead of whatever, the Waterfall Pond, sorry, Waterfall Caves and Explorers. And in this episode, we're still not going to Waterfall. I am still not going to go to Fiery Field because I just want to hold that off for as long as possible. Instead, I am going to recruit Zapdos. And after the main story, you can go to dungeons which had legendary Pokemon as bosses at the end. Normal Pokemon aren't bosses, will never appear again. I learned the hard way because I tried going up Mount Steel once to recruit Skarmory, only to realise it wasn't there. And they're all higher leveled than when they're in the than they were during the main story, but also they're higher leveled the later on in the game you fought those bosses in the first place. So Zapdos, which is the first legendary boss, is also the lowest level one, and that's why I'm recruiting it first. But first, in order to recruit Zapdos, you don't need to buy a friend area. Its friend area is unlocked automatically, and each of the legendary birds has the 30% chance of being recruited. And I forgot to select his Mew as the leader. Actually, should I? Oh, he's only level 22. I thought he was level 29, but it turns out I was misreading it. Okay, before I recorded this episode, I checked the previous episode to see what level this Mew was, and for some reason I thought this Mew was level 29 because that was the level that my leader was at, which was Perel at the time. And oh my gosh, I didn't realise I had 5 stars of IQ. I've been playing Explosive Time this year, and I barely give my hero any gummies, and that's partially because red gummies are really rare in Explosive Time. Apparently they're in almost every dungeon in Explosive Darkness. And I am going to buy a friend area called Thunder Meadow if I can find it. Unless I already have, that is entirely possible. Well, this is awkward. So I'm just going to check what friend areas I have then. Oh, I already have Friend Meadow. That's good then, because I want to recruit an Electrike because it has an ability called Lightning Rod. So, after I sort everything out, I'm going to go to Mount Thunder and meet me there. Oh, I almost forgot to mention Happy Mystery Dungeon Day. Basically, on the 2nd of August every year, people try to get Mystery Dungeon, hashtag Mystery Dungeon trending on Twitter, and this is my contribution this year. It was originally just in Spanish, but this year they're doing it in English too. Oh, there's an Electrike right here. That's convenient, because I'm going to share a bit more of trivia about Electrike. It's based on Raiju, a lightning elemental creature from Japanese mythology whose name just means lightning beast. And it takes several forms. The most common form is a wolf, which is what this is based on. But another form it has is a tiger, which is what Raikou is based on. But Electrike is actually based on a maned wolf, which is a completely different species in a different genus from South America to wolves as you know them. There wouldn't be a proper unambiguously wolf Pokemon until Generation 7. Which reminds me, there was a stamp I saw on DeviantArt once saying there are no wolf Pokemon that was made in like before 2012, and I've got to wonder what the person who made it is thinking now. And I know that Electrike disappears after a certain floor, so I'm going to try to recruit one as soon as possible, but not before seeing this Pidgeotto. Expect a lot of cutting in this episode. Why is Cacnea in this dungeon? I thought Cacnea lived in the desert. Should I recruit this Weedle? I already have a Weedle, but I suppose I could have this one. No, I think this Weedle would just slow my team down. I could have this one so I could evolve one and keep the other so I can have a living dex, except there's not a Pokedex in this game, but you know what I mean. Also, Nidoran Male looks too big in this game, and I'm always used to it being purple because that's how it looks in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Is anyone like? Meanwhile, I'm used to Gligar being pink because that's how it looks in the anime, and that's the first time I saw it. So, make of that. So, what colour do you see these Pokemon as? And I also see Ditto as purple while we're here. Or I think Ditto looks better as purple rather, and the same goes for all the others. Can I recruit this one? No. But I did grow to level 30. I don't know if I can get a Nidoran male though, because I kind of like Nidoran. Or Nidoran, as I used to think it was pronounced when I was little. And while we're here, I used to think that Raikou was pronounced as Raikou. And I still haven't into recruiting Electrike, so that's good. Okay, I don't want to get all negative here, but honestly this game is just draining because it's just kind of very boring to play, so I run out of things to talk about very quickly. And this is... Oh, I thought that Cacnea was an Electrike until I read the message. And also, when does Aaron actually learn a Rock-type move? Because Rock Tomb, as I've said before, isn't a TM in this game for some stupid reason. And yes, I got an Electrike. Another thing I've noticed that Electrike's French name is Dynavolt, and I think it sounds really cool. It sounds like Dynablade. So that's what I'm going to call mine. And you're going to be a great help again. Oh, I forgot that I couldn't use the touchscreen, and that sound you just heard was my gamepad knocking against the desk, by the way. And I was sort of reminded of Crystal Star Studios' Let's Play of Explorers of Darkness, where they get into an argument over if Electrike and Manectric are supposed to be crocodiles or dogs. And they're actually sort of both right, because Manectric's mouth is based on crocodile clips. And let's see, what are you capable of, Dynavolt? Still sounds like something out of a Kirby game. Like, I feel like there's literally something in a Kirby game called Dynavolt, but something else. Or maybe a Wario game, I don't know. And you don't know any damaging electric type moves, unfortunately, but that's not important because you have Lightning Rod and Static as well. Also, Manectric has a really great cry. It's like, da-da-da-da-dum. But more like scratchy and electronic because it's electric, obviously. People don't really talk about good Pokemon cries much. When I do is like Finneon and mainly Generation 4 Pokemon. Because they just have the best cries before they became all really squeaky. Like literally when before Pokemon Black and White released outside Japan, I went on the official Nintendo Magazine's forums a lot to read about speculation and like news as what the games were generally like, and someone made an entire thread about how all the Pokemon cries are really squeaky. Like they said the jolting sound at the Fairies in Ocarina of Time for some reason. But I can't actually remember what it sounds like right now. Like I'm picturing it and I'm just thinking of some other Pokemon that I can't, another Pokemon's cry, but I can't. Oh, I'm thinking of Petilittle's cry, that's what I'm thinking of. You can have like a pub quiz of Pokemon cries. And I might have already mentioned this, but I remember once in like 2013-ish, I was having like, we were playing a quiz game at like home. It was like, we had some relatives over, it was like some kind of party. I can't remember what the party was for though. And one of the questions on there was, recently Doctor Who has been in the news, why? Well, that was a bit badly worded, but that's Lightning Rod in action. And other Pokemon have Lightning Rod and Cubone, which is a starter. And why is it pronounced Cubone and not Cubone? But I'm getting off topic. Anyway, one of the correct answer was that the bunch of lost episodes had been found in Nigeria. But one of the wrong answers was that they'd announced the next Doctor to be a woman. And honestly, I knew that they were going to do a female Doctor since I saw the End of Time Part 2, where the 11th Doctor thinks he's a girl. And then again, I saw the Doctor's wife around the time it first aired, and one of the few things I remembered about it for years, I've watched the episodes and said several times, because it's one of my favourite episodes, is that the Doctor mentions the Corsair, who is his friend, who was usually a man, but sometimes a woman, because regeneration. I've kind of been interested in Doctor Who recently, that's why I've mentioned it in my last two videos. Go watch my Klonoa Let's Play, by the way, I don't want it to die. And Dynavolt grew to level 13. I leveled up! Watch the sparks fly! I haven't decided what gender I want Dynavolt to be, so let me know in the comments. Also, that bit of music that's there. And there it was again. It reminds me of the music from Kirby Triple Deluxe called Moonlight Capital that plays in most of the levels in the last world that goes da 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 da. But then there's a bit at the end that sounds a bit like that. Also, Disney, you know a ground type move. I should let you fight, or I could just defeat the Manectric for you. That works too. I used to think it was pronounced a Manectric as well because I didn't realise it was based on a maned wolf and it had a mane. Also, its Manectric's Korean name is Thunderbolt. Real original name there. And I still don't like how in this game only they don't show you your optional teammates in midpoints. And normally I'd save here, but this is a Let's Play and you tend not to save in the middle of a Let's Play just in case you need to re-record. Unless the game forces you to. And Dynavolt learned PP checker. Now, I've got to check, if you recruit a Pokemon in the first half of a dungeon, go to the midpoint, and the Pokemon faints in the second half, will you lose that Pokemon? Oh, it says farewell, so I would. Well then. See, whenever I think about this Let's Play, I imagine myself having, like, all these running gags and all these, my recruited Pokemon doing cool stuff, and then that doesn't happen. So, you're back! Okay, I can't remember what voice I gave Zapdos. Since we last met, how much more have you furthered your team? How much stronger? Your power. Demonstrate it for me. Does that sound good? Does it sound anything like the voice I gave Zapdos before? Also, I was expecting Defy the Legends to play because that's the theme that plays for most optional legendary bosses in Explore Time and Darkness, but this game is just Rayquaza's theme, so... Oh my gosh, look at how little damage Dynavolt did there. Actually, I think it might be... Oh my gosh, that was quick, but I forgot to restore point before this. Oops, but Dynavolt did gain a level, so... I was going to restore point before this so I could recruit Zapdos. Oh dear. Well, that was surprisingly easy, but... I'm going to go through this quickly again. You already have an Electrike, so no thanks, sorry. And I've recruited the Nidoran male, so I might as well keep him. And I am going to call you Purple because that's the colour you should be. Let's see what you can do. Your ability is Poison Point, of course, because Generation 3. I swore. And it gets Rivalry in Generation 4, so that's the thing, I guess. And your moves are Peck, Live, Focus Energy, and Double Kick. Also, there aren't many good poison type moves in Generation 3. Like, I'm pretty sure the best poison type move most poison type Pokemon learn is like Poison Jab, which does like 15 damage. No, not Poison Jab, Poison Sting, that's it. Poison Jab is actually a good move, and I think it was introduced in Generation 4, I'm not sure. And Purple learned PP Checker. And I don't need another Nidoran male, so bye. Although one thing that's good, this episode's been going surprisingly well. I haven't had any deaths, and I've recruited 2 new Pokemon that I haven't lost yet. I seem to be having really bad luck with layouts, because now I'm getting all the really complicated ones, and I keep finding the stairs in, like... The stair room is the one I find every other room before I find the stairs. I still haven't found them, look. And Purple grew to level 13. I'm pleased, that's really the best thing you could think of. Most of Pokemon's dialogue is just quirky stuff about their biology, so I'm going to see what we say now. Don't laugh at my poisonous spikes! What's that voice supposed to be? It sounds like G1 Spike from My Little Pony. In the 1980s. And Purple has a power band, which is actually good because he has physical moves. I also know that Sludge Bomb existed in Generation 3, but it's a TM for most Pokemon, like Bulbasaur for example. Don't think Bulbasaur or its evolutions on any poison type moves, damaging poison type moves by level up until like Gen 4 or maybe even Gen 6, I don't know, but definitely not in Generation 3. I don't know, it's just like, it just seems like poison, a Sludge Bomb is just one of those moves where you, like, you use the TM for it a lot, so you don't really think about Pokemon learning it by level up, not to mention that people really didn't care about poison type moves until Generation 6 with the introduction of Fairy type, and people still keep acting like they're going to not include Fairy types in anything with Generation 1 Pokemon in it. even though it's obvious that it's going to return. They didn't get rid. That people weren't seriously thinking they would get rid of the Rock and Steel types after Generation 2, did they? I wasn't around back then, so I wouldn't know. Well, I was around back then. I was just very young. Oops. But I do need to restore points before I go to, at the beginning of the Zapdos boss fight. And I definitely won't be needing any of these Pecha Berries because I don't think you can get, actually you can get poison in this dungeon, but both my Pokemon are poison types. So why didn't I just get rid of them sooner? I don't know. And that was the end of Purple, I think. Yes, it was, because as I established earlier, if you lose a Pokemon before you finish dungeon, even if it's in the after a midpoint, then you won't be able to keep them. Oh well. And I learned Non-Sleeper, which, as the name suggests, prevents Pokemon from sleeping, but it also makes rest fail. And it's also exactly the same as the ability Insomnia, so don't really see the point. Because, like, I'm pretty sure every Pokemon in this game has the same pool of IQ skills, so Pokemon with Insomnia wouldn't need that IQ skill. Or Vital Spirit, they're exactly the same. The only difference is that Pokemon with Vital Spirit can't be sent to the Dream World, but that's irrelevant because that only applied to Generation 5 when it was the newest generation, and I didn't realise Zapdos had new text. So, you're back! Since we last met, how much more have you furthered your team? Well, not actually a lot, I just went to this dungeon once more. And how much stronger? I am definitely going to start a restore point now. Make a restore point, not start. Your power! Demonstrate it for me! Did I recruit Zapdos this time? I did not, so I need to do a different sequence of actions this time and see what that does. Yes, but can I recruit Zapdos? No, I didn't. Once you recruit all three of the legendary birds, something special will happen, but when I first played this game, I recruited all three of them and I didn't unlock that thing, so you probably have to do some other stuff first. Sorry I'm being vague, I just don't want to spoil the game. Yes! And I'm going to name you Carol because this music still sounds like Carol of the Bells, and by this music I mean the dungeon theme, obviously, not the music that's playing right now. Yes, Carol, the God of Thunder. And as I said earlier, it unlocks their friend area, which is based on the 3 islands that the legendary birds lived on in the movie. Pokémon 2000, The Power of One. Not to be confused with The Power of Us, which I saw in cinemas once, and it was in cinemas for only 2 days, and they weren't consecutive, and they played like 2 Pokémon Generation shorts and an interview before it, and I just wanted the movie to start already. Next time on my extremely riveting Let's Play Pokemon Mission Dungeon Red Rescue Team, I think I'll be recruiting Moltres next, but I haven't made my mind up. Until next time, stay interesting, but not before I go have a look at Legendary Island. Oh, I did keep Purple, I didn't expect that.
Thank you.